horses are in the paddock for today's featured race. This is the running of the Grade 2 $500,000 Hawthorne Gold Cup handicap. Side is a 6 Student Council. Student Council opened up as the choice. This one from the barn of Steve Asmussen. And Student Council wasn't really thought of too much last time out at Del Mar in the Grade 1 Pacific Classic, but a lot of people recognized him after the race as he crossed the wire on top at odds of 23-1 that day. And that was his first try at 1.25 miles, and he definitely handled the 1.25 mile distance just fine in that spot. As Student Council rated a few lengths back, took over at the top of the stretch and held on to win by a half length. Richard Migliori back in the saddle today. Student Council, horse that's possibly going to sit up a little bit closer, especially with the scratch of Extreme Supreme, but don't overlook his chances either.
Now they're all in the gate. They're off and running in the Hawthorne Gold Cup, and Jonesboro, as expected, goes right to the front. And here's Student Council now hustling up on the outside to be second. Miami Sunrise came away third. Wayzata Bay between horses fourth, and APR on the rail is fifth. Through the stretch and under the finish wire for the first time. Jonesboro up top. Not pace on here, and Jonesboro leads by a length. Student Council on the outside second. Miami Sunrise third. APR on the rail fourth, and Wayzata Bay is fifth. And they run into the first turn, and your leader is Jonesboro. Little more than 7 furlongs to go. Jonesboro, the leader by a length and a quarter. Student Council second. Miami Sunrise right there with the leaders third. APR moves to the outside fourth, 4 lengths behind the leader. Wayzata Bay is fifth, and they make their way to the backstretch. 6 furlongs to go in the Hawthorne Gold Cup in Jonesboro. Going along on a very easy lead and has been unchallenged. Leads by a length. Student Council racing second. Miami Sunrise third. Wayzata Bay now moving on the rail fourth. APR out there fifth. Less than 5 furlongs to go. Chris Amy and Jonesboro, the leader by a length and a half. Then on the outside, Student Council still second. Miami Sunrise third. Wayzata Bay on the rail fourth. And AP Arrow needs to make up 6 with less than a half mile to go. Not much change in position. They're still chasing Jonesboro. Midway around the turn, Jonesboro the length. Student Council second. On the outside, Miami Sunrise third. Wayzata Bay fourth. AP Arrow needs to make up 7, and he only has a 1/4 mile to do it. They turn for home in the Hawthorne Gold Cup, and Jonesboro comes off the turn a length on top. Student Council between horses second. Miami Sunrise now charging on the center of the track third. Wayzata Bay fourth. AP Arrows fifth. A furlong to go. Student Council now on the outside takes the lead. Jonesboro trying to fight back. Miami Sunrise is flattened out. Student Council has the lead. Student Council, Richard Migliori, win the 71st running of the Hawthorne Gold Cup. They won it by
He took a little step to the outside and corrected himself and placed himself the whole way. I was just a good passenger. Push-button horse, real professional, well-prepared, and pleasure to ride. I think so. I think he's just a horse that shows up and runs his race. They came home pretty fast. The pace was real soft, but they came home in 24-1, and he ran to the wire. He waited for me to call on him, and he leveled off and finished. I thought his effort was real strong.
Well, he's always showed a lot of class. The ironic thing, he shipped into our barn at Houston when he won the Maxim, beat a decent field that day on the dirt, ran really well. Vladimir did a great job preparing him for this race, and Richie gave him a great ride. It set up in favor of him from the post draw to everything else.
Next step, I know it's maybe too premature, so we just finished the race, but we thinking Breeders' Cup at this time?
Well, obviously there's a team effort on this horse, and that's what we'll confer with and move forward with that. But the horse is a pleasure for everybody to be around and has been very good to a lot of people.